Tom Brady said this kid's got a great future ahead of him. He says he's got all the ability in the world, and that coming from a great team like he came from and going to this team because Brady has a lot of respect for Billy O'Brien. He worked with him in New England. So Tom Brady's saying this kid's going to be good. Tom Brady made this comment right here, man, and I want your thoughts to it. Mm-hmm. He said that if he had 4.6 speed like Deshaun Watson, he too would make excessive plays with his leg as well as his arms.
Right. Why wouldn't you? The good Lord gave it to you.
Well, why does he get knocked so much is my question.
Right.
All the great quarterbacks that we have today that can't do it, all wish they could.
Right.
And if you pay attention to what Deshaun Watson has done so far, dude went 179 yards, 15 for 25, had 3 carries for 24 yards. The 3 carries only came about after he saw that there was nothing out there for him after he read his progressions.
Right. He wasn't a guy that just tucked it and ran a lot when he was at Clemson anyway.
So he's comfortable, Doug. He's comfortable. So a lot of it depends on the player. A lot of it depends on the offensive line. Can they protect this guy that we can't have taking a lot of shots in his first season? A lot of it depends on who else is on the roster that could possibly get you wins before you throw him in the fire.
Right.
And I think in Houston, I don't think Deshaun Watson's going to start, even though Billy says he probably could. Mm-hmm. I think it'll be a while before he gets in. And I hope they don't start the Kaiser kid in Cleveland because it's just a bad situation in Cleveland.
Period.
It's a bad situation. Mm-hmm. Cleveland doesn't have much.
It looks like they've already moved him up to second string.
Second now. They like him.
Looks like he might get the opportunity, man, because I don't know. Brock Osweiler is probably going to start because he's a veteran.
Who's in front of him?
Right.
Brock Osweiler is a guy that just came from the team we were just talking about in Billy O'Brien. He was in Houston, and they gave him a boatload of money to come from Denver, and he stunk it up. Mm-hmm. So if you've got Kaiser and you see promise in him, why are you going to even give Osweiler the opportunity to stink it up? You would go with Kaiser if he can be protected and doesn't get beat within an inch of his life in a ball game.
Right, yeah.
So a lot of it depends on the offensive line, the player, and what else is going on around them.
O'Brien, so you said what position did he fill when you were at Tech? And you were at Tech between...
He was a grad assistant on the offensive side of the ball. So they did a lot. They worked with
so he wasn't a coach. He was a grad...
He was a grad assistant at the time when I was at Tech back in... I got here in 1991.
We getting old, man.
Dude, so Billy O'Brien... Yes.
Billy O'Brien, who looks like an old guy to me now.
No, but he's 4 or 5 years older than us.
Is Gotze... Is Gotze still an offensive coordinator there, or is Gotze somewhere else? George Gotze that played quarterback at Georgia Tech after you.
I'm not sure. I think Gotze's still with Billy.
Okay.
In Houston. Yeah. It's a good situation. It's a good situation with Deshaun Watson.
It's crazy how close-knit a community is the NFL, man. Like, everybody knows everybody. O'Brien has this relationship with who was the coach at Georgia Tech when you were there?
O'Leary.
George O'Leary.
And Ralph Friesen.
And all of those guys. Like, everybody knows everybody, man.
Man, every young player that I talk to, I mentor a few players. And I often ask them, even during the season, hey, man, I mean, you're having a good week. You did good last week. But I say, what do you think you could be doing in 5 years? Mm-hmm. I try to get them thinking about what's next. Because if any of them say they want to coach, I'm like, man, I'm so glad you told me that. Let me tell you what you need to do.
Right.
I can tell you how to get on right now because you're there. You're with coaches every day.
Right.
Here's what you need to do to get you a job the day you walk off the field.
It's definitely political.
It's political, man. Play this game. Rub this guy's shoulders. Say hello to him. Speak to him. Go to his office. Tell him you need Phil. Play this game if you want to get a gig in this league when you get done.
Speaking of, what's Nick Ferguson doing? Who played with you? Is he coaching or is he in TV now?
He's doing broadcasting.
Okay.
He's out in L.A. now. His wife wanted to move because her father's out in L.A.
Right.
So he moved the whole family out to L.A. He's made a boatload of money, did good for himself. So I think he's pretty much doing what he wants to do. Mm-hmm. But I know he's in the broadcasting field as well. Yeah,
that's a teammate of yours, played defensive back, played in the NFL for many years. And he hit me up on Facebook a couple of days ago for something. But shouts out to Nick Ferguson.
Along the lines of the question you asked, let me just say this. We talked about Deshaun Watson. We talked about Deshaun Kaiser. Funny how they both have the same first name.
Right.
Things will be drastically different for Watson than it is Kaiser.
Okay.
Because of the organizations where they are. Cleveland is trying to, and I love Hugh Jackson, used to be with my Raiders. Shouldn't have been fired from my Raiders.
I agree. Cleveland's a dumpster fire right now.
Okay.
have been.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Cleveland's much more of a dumpster fire than Houston is. Houston's on the verge of being viable.
Right.
They are.
They had any offense last year, they may have been able to beat
If
New
they, had,
England.
if they had a quarterback last year, they probably would have been able to compete better with the Patriots.
Right.
Well, that's not the case in Cleveland. He was building a whole lot more than Billy is building. So look for Deshaun to have much more success. And I think Deshaun's a better player anyway. The kid is cool, man.
Yeah.
He's cool and he's just cool and calm under pressure.
Story number 2. You're listening to the Ryan Stewart Show. This chick, Deshaun, or Zeke Elliott, has been messing with. She's what they used to call a skeezer, it sounds like. Trying to get this man caught up. Sounds like she's trying to blackmail a guy for some money or whatever.
She's trifling.
Accuse him of assault. That's a separate story, but these new information and new revelation of what she was going to try to attempt to set him up for some money to get monetary gain, man, has actually come up. What are your thoughts about this story, sir?
I need players to wake up, man. The title of today's show was 2K, 2000, ... and what? I forgot to mention that when we talked about Charlottesville at number 45. It's 2000 and what? I mean, what are we dealing with here?
Yeah.
You got to be kidding me.
Right.
Well, it's 2017 now, Ezekiel Elliott. And if you're videoing yourself with these chicks while y'all rabbit dance and you're giving these chicks access to those tapes, get ready to get a lot of requests for your money.
Right.
And look, man, when this dude ran into this chick, it could have just been a situation where two people were interested in each other, but you gave her the fuel and the gas to put you in a position where you screwed up.
Right.
And it's all his doing. It's bad, man. I need everybody to wake up. Even though it's 2017 and we've got all this technology, you got to wake up. There's certain things you should never do. To everyone that's listening that plays ball and you might be younger, because they listen to the podcast.
Right.
I'm in favor of you videoing these broads with their permission, but don't give them the video.
Right. You're saying as like evidence in case something ever came up.
I didn't take nothing. It was given to me, Your Honor.
Right.
As a matter of fact, she said I could video her. I got the videos right here, Your Honor. Mm-hmm. If you're not going to video her, if you invite her to your house, have some other company over. Just back up.
What do you mean? You talking about a menage a trois?
Well, not for that purpose, though.
Right.
Just another set of ears and eyes. And this seems drastic. This seems like it's over the top. But that's how serious it is, man. Mm-hmm. Look, man, I don't know if Little Chewy beat this chick up.
Wait. What'd you call him?
Little Chewy. You can't tell me that boy don't look like a little Chewbacca.
So wait a minute. Now, you're not a big Star Wars fan. Are you confusing Chewbacca with the Ewoks? Or are you saying he has traits of a Chewbacca and Ewok?
I am not a big Star Trek person. You're right.
Star Wars, right.
Star Wars, yeah, same thing to me. But who is the very, very big hairy person?
That's Chewbacca.
Okay, that's who Ezekiel Elliott looks like, a little Chewbacca. It's like if he didn't shave his beard or give himself a line at the top of his head,
right,
his hair would just continue to grow over his whole face.
I'm going to tell you what, man. That ninja got the thickest brand of hair I ever seen in my life. I don't know what kind of hair that is.
He's got Native American in his blood.
I don't know.
Well, back to the case at hand, man. Guys got to stop putting themselves in this position, man. And unfortunately, this chick could have been in a situation where Zeke was too rough with her.
All right.
But now, because of these text messages and she's showing her true colors and she was trying to hustle the guy, blackmail the guy, she was setting the guy up for a payday.
Right.
How valid is her complaint?
Now, this is something I talked about this earlier, and you're listening to the Ryan Stewart Show.
Domestic violence is domestic violence, and it should not happen. And if he did those things to her, and he should, shame on him.
Right.
He should do his time.
He should fry.
He should do his time.
I had a question, and it was kind of unclear to me. Where did they find the messages between her and this friend that was telling her she should try to blackmail dude?
When it's a bunch of, it came from her, first of all. No one planted the idea in her mind. She's the one that started the communications about.
Right. But on the transcript, it was her and her friend going back and forth about trying to do this.
When you have a case of this magnitude and this validity, they gonna pull your phone records, see who you're calling, see who you're texting, and everything is there.
That's right. Yeah, the police.
Everything is there.
Right.
So it was the police later on in this process, after statements had been made and after files had been charged, it was the police that said, hey, well, we found these text messages.
Right.
What are these about?
Right.
And they said she was very forthright with everything that she was going on with. But I'm wondering if that's going to hurt her claim that this kid beat her up.
Yeah.
Because clearly there's something there. Did she get
Well, I mean, it talks about her character. Simple as that.
Yes.
Yeah. And does she have, does she have it in her to try some shenanigans to come up on this guy?
Oh, she got it in her.
Right.
Yeah, we know that now. Yeah, clearly this is a situation where she could have very well, when he left, had someone come by and rough her up.
6 games by Roger Goodell, man, and I've said this over and over, and I said something to the point last week about the players' union in NFL is the worst, and you kind of took umbrage to that. Roger Goodell doles out 6 games. The police did their own investigation. They're the police.
Right.
How can the NFL do it better? He doles out 6 games. They're going to appeal it. Roger Goodell, even though he gave the arbitration to somebody else, he's still arbitrating this thing. He's the judge, jury, and the executioner, man. What do you think about 6 games and the police didn't charge him? He didn't have a charge.
There's still evidence that says the lady was violated. There's still evidence, and they do their own.
Well, I mean, it has to be something, but
okay. Well,
that's
all I wanted you to say.
Right, but his word, he's saying that it's a lie.
Right.
She doesn't have any proof.
Right.
She didn't have any proof.
Again,
the Josh Brown kicker, the kicker for the New York Giants,
he told everybody he beat his wife 20-something times.
He got 1 game.
Right.
So how do you equate a guy that was charged and admitted to it? You give him 1 game, but just a year later, you give Ezekiel Elliott 6.
He can thank.
And he hadn't been charged with anything.
He can thank Ray Rice for this. Because there's no video of the kicker beating his wife. So they give Ray Rice a slap on the wrist, and then a video pops up.
Right.
That's never going to happen to the league again. No. Right. They're going to take, if you get falsely accused of domestic violence and you're a national football player,
right,
a player in the National Football League, you are going to face no less than these 6 games.
Right.
And I'm thinking that 1 or 2 of the games will be wiped off. But no, man, they're not going to go down the road they went down with Ray Rice again. Yeah. If your name is tied to any type of domestic violence, we're going to shake you down.
I just think it sets a horrible precedent, man. This is America.
Well, how horrible is it, man, if cats are beating up on chicks? How horrible is it?
Well,
cats are beating up on women.
He denies it. He wasn't charged.
Right. Well, but there's another.
Yeah. I'm all for, and we just talked about it, I'm all for somebody paying a severe price for it. They put their hands on somebody.
Right.
The police said he didn't do anything.
Okay.
For the most part.
And the NFL did their own investigation, too. If you tied to any type of domestic violence situations, man, it's going to cost you.
Yeah.
Don't do it, guys.
Hey, you are listening to the Ryan Stewart Show. All right, well,
I got some music ideas for my show, man. I'll send those to you.
Hey, what we're doing right now, production-wise, is kind of like a skeleton show.
I dig it. I can dig it.
Okay, so we got, like, your bare elements that you need for a show. Yeah, send me...
Big things popping.
Send me music and everything. We can try to get little Jorge back on the show.
Big things popping. Who's that? Who's that?
Oh, you know who Little Jorge is.
I don't recall such name.
We're going to try to do all of that type of stuff this year with the Ryan Stewart Show and 2 Live Stews Radio. We're going to take a quick little break, back in 3 minutes, and I want to get your thoughts about Tiger Woods, man, who you said was going to pass Jack Nicklaus.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on. Back in 3 minutes, the Ryan Stewart Show.
Writing, my shit so exciting. Get up on any nigga beat and start to get the fighting. I used to get the biting, now I give you all the lighting. Enlightening the people who stand up for what is right. It's kinda tight how I can say whatever that I want. Do what I don't usually do, but